This is Glenn here. Can everyone hear me? Hello? Can everyone hear me? This is Glenn. Hello, this is Glenn. Can everyone hear me?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
All right, great. I'm in the building today along with our disciplinary attorney as well. So we'll go ahead and get started. Looks like we're recording now live, so this has been sort of a transition and adjustment for everyone. Thank you for your commitment to this process and your patience as we try to work out this new hybrid model. And again, we are open for business and we'll continue to be open for business per usual. So we encourage and welcome folks to attend these meetings in person. Should you not be able to, we can always continue to have WebEx and the bridge line also as an option. And we are thankful for technology in that regard, making that possible. So, okay, we're going to go and get started then. This is the regularly scheduled meeting of the Auctioneer Commission. Let me go ahead and read the roll. Randy Lowe. Randy Lowe. Okay. Kimball Sterling.
I'm here.
John Thorpe.
Here.
Jeff Morris.
Here.
Dwayne Rogers.
Present.
All right, great. We do have quorum. Let me read the notice of meeting and then the statement of necessity. Keep in mind that where we lack a physical quorum, all votes will be roll call vote. And of course, you know how all that works. So we'll proceed on. Notice of meeting. Notice of the August 16, 2021 meeting of the Auctioneer Commission, including date, time, and location, has been noticed on the website since May 18, 2020. Additionally, this month's agenda has been posted on the website since August 6, 2021. Statement of necessity. Anna, would you please?
If I could, this is Tony Glandel, the Chief Counsel. If I could chime in here. To do a statement of necessity, you need to state the facts and reasons why we need to have this meeting with a physical quorum not in the building. So we need reasons why the members cannot physically be there. We need a reason why we need to continue.
Thank you, Tony.
Glenn,
Stated from the member.
Yes, Laura?
Glenn, this is Laura.
And then legal can consolidate that into a statement.
Yes, Laura?
I believe someone is unmuted. It might be your computer there is back feeding through the microphones.
Yeah, I'll take a look. Thank you, Laura. We're getting that addressed now. Thank you for the heads up. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Tony. Anna, would you please read the statement of necessity then? Can you hear me now? All right. Can everyone hear me now?
Yes, sir. That's much better.
Okay. Anna, would you please read the statement of necessity then?
Hey, Glenn, this is Tony. I'm trying to figure out what we need facts that we can put in the statement of necessity.
The business itself needs to be conducted due to the fact that we have a legal report that's aging. We also need meeting dates to be conducted and an education review. So the timeliness of that education review and the CER and the CE seminar dates needing to be approved prior to that contract period as well is the reason for the necessity of the meeting.
Okay, and then the next thing that we need is why is it not practical for the members to come in person? What is the reason for not being able to come in person?
Okay, we can do that then. We'll go to each member. Even we haven't done that before, but we can definitely do that now. Kimball, is there a reason for you calling in WebEx?
Yeah, I was planning to come down, but decided due to the uptick of the virus, I'd do it by WebEx.
All right, thank you, Kimball. I suspect that'll be a lot of the reasons for since we're still sort of in that flux, but we can go on down the list. Certainly, Dwayne Rogers.
Yes, sir. My reason is twofold. Most importantly, the virus. It's really coming back strong right now, and I have a wife who has an immune deficiency disease, and I don't want to take any unneeded risks on that. So if we can conduct business this way, that's how I feel it's the best for me. Second of all, it's over an hour drive for me to come there. It's a lot of hassle parking, this, that, and the other. That's the small reason, but the big reason is the virus and just trying to be careful for that very reason.
Makes perfect sense. Typically, our meetings don't extend beyond an hour, so I can imagine with some of our members driving 6 to 7 hours round trip that it wouldn't be very efficient, especially for less than an hour worth of business when the technology is available and the business must be conducted due to the timeliness and the deadlines. So we'll continue on down the list. John Thorpe.
Yes, kind of like Mr. Rogers, primary reason is concerns with the virus, but you know how traffic is in Nashville. I can't stand it. So if there's an option to do it here, I'd much rather do it.
That sounds fine. Jeff Morris.
Same thing for me. I want to avoid the virus as much as possible.
Sounds good. All right, then, and then Randy Lowe. All right, looks like Randy Lowe didn't make it on the screen after all. All right, thank you very much. If we can and permitted to do so, may Anna read the statement of necessity at this point?
Hey, Glenn, this is Tony. Yes, we can definitely appreciate that, everybody. We can incorporate that into a really good statement of necessity for you all at this time so that we can recite those reasons as to why it's not practical to come and have a meeting in person. And then we have the list of specific things, such as the big report, education review, and meeting dates further, why it's necessary to have a meeting in the future. Give me just one moment. Anna, are you prepared to be able to incorporate those into your statement that you sent?
Yes.
Okay, and I'll turn that over to you. Thank you all.
Okay. Glenn, I also believe Mr. Lowe has rejoined the meeting. Mr. Lowe, is that you?
Yes. Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
All right. We were just about to read the statement of necessity, Mr. Lowe. Anna, if you're ready.
Sure. This is a scheduled meeting of the Tennessee Auctioneer Commission. Notice of this meeting is posted to the Commission's website on Monday, May 18th, 2020, and this month's agenda was posted on Friday, August 6th, 2021. As there is not a physical quorum present, a statement of necessity will be read into the record and filed with the Tennessee Secretary of State as required by statute. Pursuant to Tennessee Code Annotated Section 8-44-108B2, which states if a physical quorum is not present at the location of a meeting of a governing body, then in order for a quorum of members to participate by electronic or other means of communication, the governing body must make a determination that a necessity exists. Further, Tennessee Code Annotated Section 8-44-108A3 defines necessity as matters to be considered by the governing body that require timely action by the body, that physical presence by a quorum of the members is not practical within the time period requiring action, and that participation by a quorum of the members by electronic or other means is necessary. As stated, this is a previously scheduled meeting of the Tennessee Auctioneer Commission that is being held in Conference Room 1A of Davy Crockett Tower, located at 500 James Robertson Parkway, Nashville, Tennessee 37243. The purpose of this meeting, with members attending electronically by Cisco WebEx, is to conduct regular business of the Commission that require attention in a timely fashion, including but not limited to the education review, the Assistant Director's report, which includes the budget and approval of the 2022 meeting dates, and review of the disciplinary complaints. Previously, this meeting was scheduled to be held in person. However, members expressed concern due to the increase in cases regarding the COVID-19 pandemic that is ongoing, such as members with family members that are immunocompromised and due to travel restrictions. All voting will be conducted by roll call.
Thank you, Anna. We'll need to approve that statement of necessity. So let me, do we have a motion in that regard to accept that statement of necessity to get filed with the Secretary of State's office? Do we have such a motion?
I move.
So moved, Randy Lowe.
All right, Randy Lowe for the motion. Do we have a second?
I second.
Thank you, Mr. Sterling. All right, roll call vote. Randy Lowe.
Aye.
Kimball Sterling.
Yes.
John Thorpe.
Aye.
Jeff Morris.
Yes.
Dwayne Rogers.
Yes.
All right, thank you very much. That's approved. We'll get that filed. Thank you, Anna. All right, for the agenda then, I trust you all have that in front of you. Do we have a motion to accept the agenda, or any comments or edits in regards?
Move we approve, John Thorpe.
Thank you, sir. John Thorpe for a motion to approve the agenda. Do we have a second?
Second.
Randy Lowe, second.
All right, thank you, Mr. Lowe. For roll call vote, Randy Lowe.
Aye.
Kimball Sterling.
Yes.
John Thorpe.
Aye.
Jeff Morris.
Aye.
Dwayne Rogers.
Yes.
All right, thank you. That's been approved. On to the May minutes there. Is there any comments, edits? Okay. Hearing none, do we have a motion to approve the May minutes?
Motion to approve.
All right, thank you, Mr. Sterling. Got a motion from Mr. Sterling. Do we have a second?
Second, Randy Lowe.
All right, thank you, sir. For roll call vote, Randy Lowe.
Aye.
Kimball Sterling.
Yes.
John Thorpe.
Aye.
Jeff Morris.
Yes.
Dwayne Rogers.
Yes.
All right, thank you very much. All right, that's been approved. If we may just pause for a moment, I'd like to give Jeff Morris an opportunity to sort of brief us on the recent NALLOA conference. That was recently there in Minneapolis. Jeff, you have the floor.
Thank you very much, and I really appreciate the commission sending me this year. I briefly explained to Kimball early on that the attendance was way down, that we had 400 or less there in Minneapolis. It was a kind of a rusty start for them, but the first conference they've had in a long time. A lot of technology was discussed at this conference and show. Online bidding was for absolutely the topmost topmost topic that was discussed at all of the sessions, and the changes that are happening in the industry. Tennessee was brought up as, one of the things, this case has kind of got a national spotlight on it. So I'm sure they'll be looking at any results that happen out of that. But technology, online auctions, and a whole lot of that going on, and it's just a complete change in the industry. The live bid calling is still there. Of course, they had the international championship on Friday night. Great contest. Guys did a great job. We had a strong contingent from Tennessee. We probably had, 12 or so auction firms represented from Tennessee there. So it was good that we were all there together. But it was an interesting conference and show. Neola actually ended up doing their meeting after the conference by teleconference, and since a lot of those meetings are taking place that way now, just like this one is. But it's a very different world in the auction industry, and online is going to be here with us for a long, long time. They don't think it's going to. In fact, one of the sessions, one of the top auction companies in the world is based in South Africa, and they basically pivoted from big ballroom style live auctions to a virtual auction, basically starting out of the garage and then moving to their office. But now their comment was that the COVID has shifted the public perception of virtual auctions, and it advanced it 10 years, all within 1 year. Got everybody to automatically pivot away from attending live auctions, and they're all attending by Zoom and online bidding. So it's a complete shift in the auction industry. I'd entertain any questions anybody might have about the convention.
Well, Jeff, seems like they covered a lot of territory. Seems like everything is changing. So I'm glad we had a representative there to sort of track some of that and then report back. Thank you for your work. We appreciate that.
Well, I appreciate being able to go on y'all's behalf.
All right. I think we're ready then, unless there's any questions that you guys had for Jeff. I think we're ready for the education review. If you would open up that document. Let me there's two QE courses right at the top. Both of those courses are the same course, or same courses under different names, but the same provider. The content is relatively the same. Also, these are two courses that we have approved before and that we're offering as QE. But this is a reapplication. We're reviewing all of our courses, some of those that have expired, and this being one of those. So the commission's already approved this once before, so this is before you again. And you've got two courses there, both of the same courses. So I think we can take both of those together. Are there any questions about those? And you're looking at...
Let me just say this, Glenn. Mike Jones is pretty good. I mean, pretty high up in the NAA. He's past chairman, past president. He's owned what used to be called the Texas Auction Academy. He changed that name to the America's Auction Academy. And then in November of 19, he bought the Worldwide College of Auctioneering from Paul Bear. So Mike Jones that's why that application has two different names, and it has a lot of the same people in the same courses. There's no finer auction school in the country than the Worldwide College of Auctioneering and now America's Academy of Auctioneering. So I highly recommend that we approve those two courses, and I would make that in the form of a motion.
Right. Thank you, Mr. Morris. We have a motion from Mr. Morris to approve those two courses. That's the American Auction Academy and Worldwide College of Auctioneering. These are their basic auctioneering courses for 50 hours each. Do we have a second?
Second,
Randy Lowe.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Lowe. For a roll call vote, Randy Lowe.
Aye.
Kimball Sterling.
Yes.
John Thorpe.
Aye.
Jeff Morris.
Aye.
Dwayne Rogers.
Yes.
All right. Thank you. Those are approved then. We'll get those moving. That brings us to our CE course for fiscal year 2022. Our vendor is Nashville Auction School, and this will come out of the Education Recovery Fund and be offered free of charge to all of our licensees. The course name is the Internet Office. That will be page number 49 on that education review document that you have. So page 49. Do you have any questions in regards to that?
I would also speak on behalf of Nashville Auction School. I know Russ is on the call. They have been with us for a long time, and I would put Nashville Auction School up there with the other two that I just talked about as being one of the top instruction organizations in the country. And anything they do is really thought out and well done, and they've served us well over the many years that they've been associated with us. So I would move that we approve that course as well.
Thank
I
you.
second.
We got a second from Mr. Kimball Sterling and a primary motion from Jeff Morris. For roll call vote, Randy Lowe,
Aye.
Kimball Sterling,
Yes.
John Thorpe,
Aye.
Jeff Morris,
Aye.
Dwayne Rogers.
Yes.
All right, great. While we're here, let's go ahead and talk about those seminar dates. So we've got some dates. We don't have, and we've got general location. We don't have specific locations on all of them, but pretty close. So East Tennessee is November 19th at the venue at Lenore City. Middle Tennessee is March 1st, tentatively, at Franklin Marriott Cool Springs. And then West Tennessee is we're looking at June for that date at Union University. So it seems like it's pretty well spread out and readily available in those geographic locations. Looks like some good venues. If right now, if that comports with kind of the scheme or the idea that the commission had in mind, we'll just need an approval or a motion in that regard. Do we have such a motion?
So moved.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Morris. Do we have a second?
Second, Randy Lowe.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Lowe. For roll call vote, Randy Lowe,
Aye.
Kimball Sterling,
Yes.
John Thorpe,
Aye.
Jeff Morris,
Yes.
Dwayne Rogers.
Yes.
All right. Thank you very much. Those dates are approved. Thank you, Ressa, for remaining on the call as well. We appreciate your work on the behalf of the commission. I think we're ready then for the Tennessee Auctioneers Association course, the TAA course. That's the strategies for accelerating your real estate marketing. That is starts at page 56. We're looking at CE of 2 hours. Have any questions, concerns? If not,
None at this time, but I would go ahead and make a motion that we approve that course.
all right. Thank you, Mr. Morris. Do we have a second?
Second, John Thorpe.
Thank you, Mr. Thorpe. For roll call vote, Randy Lowe,
Aye.
Kimball Sterling,
Yes.
John Thorpe,
Aye.
Jeff Morris,
Yes.
Dwayne Rogers.
Yes.
All right, great. Thank you. That clears the education review. We can move on to the informational part of our meeting, the budget. Should have that there before you. This completes fiscal year 2021. So we've got some good numbers in. At our last meeting in May, we covered the months of January through March. As a result, we'll primarily be looking at the last 3 months of record, April to June. We'll focus on that. In April, revenue did seem to be down, but was consistent with the year prior. So the trending is still the same there. A lot of that could be affected by renewal periods. And so I didn't see anything just alarming there. Then May and June cost backs amounts for technology are related to overall core expenditures. I did see an uptick in core or Edison expenditures there related to technology. Those are overall core expenditures. The split between reg boards and fire, with the auctioneers reflecting their share of the public search enhancements. Another enhancement that we're doing is we're basically beefing up Verify or abandoning Verify, moving over. It's a beefed up version, but it's should be much better, a little bit more accessible, a little more intuitive, provides more information, more pertinent information. So we're expecting good results there. And we're also hoping that alleviate the frequency of public records requests, as there'll be more information readily available. So looking forward to that enhancement. But as a result of those enhancements and some of the data, technology expenses and maintenance expenses, we've seen an uptick there under Edison expenditures related to core. Other than that, I didn't see anything that was concerning to me. We ended the year with a surplus of little over $31,000 to add to the reserve. So we're headed in the right direction. And there is any questions in regards to that? There's no vote here, just informational purposes.
I would say good job, Glenn. Y'all been on top of it, and it looks like we're in good shape.
All right, thank you, Mr. Morris. I appreciate that. It's definitely something that we've maintenance, and Roxana digs in these numbers quite a bit too. So I'm very thankful and dependent on her insight as well. So thank you. All right, so I guess we can shift to the meeting dates there in 2022. It's hard to believe it's that time of year again, but it is. So we've got 4 dates in front of you there. We we're using the same pattern of meeting dates that we've used years past, with the only variation being February, because I believe that was Valentine's Day or a holiday or something. So a little adjustment there. But other than that, we're looking at February 28th, May 16th, August 15th, November 14th. I know that's, things change or fluid, but right now, if those comport with what your expectations would be, we'll just need a motion to approve those. Do we have such a motion?
Move we approve them.
All right.
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Thorpe. Thank you, Mr. Morris, for the second. For roll call vote, Randy Lowe,
Aye.
Kimball Sterling,
Yes.
John Thorpe,
Aye.
Jeff Morris,
Aye.
Dwayne Rogers.
Yes.
All right, great. Those are approved. We'll get those out of there, and we'll get those posted to the website here shortly. I think we're ready for the legal report.
Yes, this is Stuart Huffman, Associate General Counsel. Are you able to hear me okay?
Loud and clear.
Yes.
Okay, I'll start with the legal report. I'm just going to summarize these complaints, just the allegations and the issues. So number one is 2021-039-411. The respondent was chosen for an audit and was deficient the required 6 hours continuing education. The respondent has taken the 6 hours and submitted the certification as of now. So the recommendation is to pay a civil penalty of $100.
All right, we can take these one at a time then. So unless there's any questions, we can take a motion.
I move we concur with council's recommendation.
All right, we have a motion from Mr. Thorpe. Do we have a second?
Question.
Yes. Thank you, Mr. Morris.
The question is, how far past the deadline did he let the 6 hours get passed?
I don't believe that information is on here, but it couldn't be. But well, we do a quarterly audit, so it would be within a 3-month period. So, but they attest to on their applications that they did complete it when they do their renewal. So that's problematic.
I got it. So he said he did it, but he didn't.
Correct.
Okay. All right. That makes a difference.
Any further questions? Right. Hearing none, we do have one motion on the floor from Mr. Thorpe. Do we have a second to approve council's recommendation?
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Morris. For roll call vote, Randy Lowe,
Aye.
Kimball Sterling,
Yes.
John Thorpe,
Aye.
Jeff Morris,
Yes.
Dwayne Rogers.
Yes.
All right. Thank you. That one's approved then. We'll move on to the second.
Okay, number two is 2021-043-931. This complaint was opened by administration after it was observed that the respondent's advertising sign did not meet the required guidelines. The principal auctioneer's name and license number was not present. So respondent immediately complied with the guidelines, adding the principal auctioneer's name and the license number to the signs. The recommendation here is to issue a civil penalty of $250.
I move we concur.
All right. We have a motion from Mr. Thorpe to concur with council's recommendation. Do we have a second?
Second, Randy Lowe.
We have a second from Randy Lowe. Roll call vote, Randy Lowe,
Aye.
Kimball Sterling,
Question, how long have I been an auctioneer?
I'm sorry, Ms. Sterling. What was your question?
How long has this been an auctioneer?
A long time, long time from what I understand. I don't have that in front of me, but the actual dates. But he's not a new. This person is not a new auctioneer.
Yes.
All right, so we got okay. We'll continue on with the roll call vote then. We got yes from Randy Lowe, yes from Sterling, John Thorpe,
Yes.
Jeff Morris,
No.
and then Dwayne Rogers.
Yes.
All right. That was approved by majority vote then. We'll move on to number 3.
Okay, number 3 is 2021-049-481. Respondent was court appointed in a divorce case to sell land that's owned by the complainant. The respondent was to provide the court with the best method to sell, which is alleged highly sought land, according to the complainant. The complainant believes the respondent only wants to sell the land through auction because of a 10% buyer's premium and refuses to accept written offers made to purchase the land. The complainant alleges the respondent is using the court in order to be greedy and unethical. The respondent states that the property in its current state is not land that is able to be developed. However, he is trying to haul in soil to be able to divide the land into 2 to 3 lots to maximize price. Respondent states there have been no written offers brought to him. Respondent believes that auction is the best method to sell this property in its current state. Respondent agrees that if the property was able to be developed, then a traditional listing would definitely be better, but that is not the case. The matter as to the best method was discussed recently in court, and the judge ruled that the absolute auction was the best method. Complainant was also ordered by the judge to withdraw this complaint. The recommendation is to close.
I'll move we accept that recommendation.
All right, we got a motion from Mr. Morris. Do we have a second from, was that Mr. Sterling?
Yes.
All right, got a second from Mr. Sterling. For roll call vote, Randy Lowe,
Aye.
Kimball Sterling,
Yes.
John Thorpe,
Aye.
Jeff Morris,
Yes.
Dwayne Rogers.
Yes.
All right, thanks. Number 4.
Number 4 is 2021-051-301. Complainant alleges that respondent ignored his bids and quickly ended an auction on June 19, 2021 for his property. Complainant believed he had successfully outbid everyone until he was told he was not the winner. Complainant further alleges respondent made no mention of continuous flooding in the lower field and sinkholes on the property. Respondent explains that the property was ordered to be auctioned by the local chancery court in a divorce case. Respondent was given contact information by the attorneys to arrange a meeting with the complainant. No contracts were signed at this meeting, and the complainant stated that he would be purchasing the property from his ex-wife. Respondent was instructed to send listing documents in December of 2020 to complainant, and if he wished to purchase the property, he could do so at this time. According to the ex-wife's attorney, complainant had been offered numerous times to refinance the property from July 2019 through September 2020 until an order mandating auction was obtained. Complainant refused to sign any documents until March of 2021 when the court ordered the complainant to sign. Complainant continually tried to hinder the sale, refused written offers, and ignored the respondent. Respondent states that complainant had missed mortgage payments and could not qualify to purchase the property, nor qualified to place bids at auction. A neighbor contacted respondent the day of the auction concerning complainant barricading the entrance with trash and junk with "Keep Out" signs. Respondent states there were 2 sheriff deputies present at the auction, and the auction was executed as the court ordered. Respondent provided a copy of all contracts and appropriate disclosures. Recommendation is to close.
I move we accept that recommendation.
Got a motion from Mr. Morris. Do we have a second?
Second.
All right, thank you, Mr. Thorpe. For roll call vote, Randy Lowe,
Aye.
Kimball Sterling,
Yes.
John Thorpe,
Aye.
Jeff Morris,
Yes.
and Dwayne Rogers.
Yes.
Number 5.
Number 5 is 2021-057-921. This complaint was administratively opened when the respondent was chosen for audit and was deficient the required 6 hours of continuing education. Respondent renewed his license on February 10, 2021, and it was determined that CE was not completed. Respondent completed the required 6 hours of CE on February 16, 2021. So the recommendation here is a civil penalty of $100.
Did this guy also say that he had completed it and didn't?
Yes, sir, correct. It's just like number 1, this same template.
All right.
Do we have a motion?
I'll move. That's fine.
All right, thank you, sir. We have a motion from Mr. Morris to accept council's recommendation. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a second from Mr. Thorpe. Roll call vote. Randy Lowe,
Aye.
Kimball Sterling,
Yeah.
John Thorpe,
Yeah.
Jeff Morris,
Yes.
Dwayne Rogers.
Yes.
All right, great. While we're here, I'd like to let that close the legal report before we move on. Stuart, did you have any other things that you'd like to add?
Oh, I was going to say that hopefully we can kind of get in a good groove. I know this is the first time that I'm doing a legal report, so I just like to try to keep everything consistent, and I'm always here for questions. Thank you.
I think you did an excellent job, by the way, Stuart.
Thank you.
Thank you, Stuart. Appreciate your assistance. Great. While we're here, we had, as you notice on the legal report, we had 2 items, folks that attested to CE and did not complete it. Again, we run that quarterly audit. And so we occasionally have some of these. I am pleased to announce that most do exactly what they attest that they're going to do. And so these are rare, but we do, as you can see on this report, had 2 in this case. We'd like to move, as we always do, like to move things as expediently as possible. Since the council seemed pleased to assess a $100 penalty on those that attest to CE and then did not complete it, I'm asking the commission for the authority, for the administration to be granted authority with these cases only. So instead of waiting on the meeting, we would go ahead and send the agreed citation or order to these folks with a $100 citation, and that way they would not have to come before the board, and we can open it and then close it with that $100 assessment. Is that something that the commission would be interested in?
Hey, Glenn, can I ask a real quick question?
Yes, please.
I know we've all voted just that $100 fine for the last 2 offendants, but in my opinion, does that not seem low for somebody that has said, yes, I took it, lied about it, and then only took it because they had to take it? Is that, do you feel like, or do we feel like that might be too light of a penalty?
Keep in mind, too, that part of the penalty is that this goes on their official record as disciplinary action. So that's really what folks are more, I think that's more of a heavier burden than the actual $100.
Hey, Glenn,
Okay,
and
I understand that. I was just curious as to, they said, yes, I took it, knowing they didn't take it. And so that seemed to me like maybe it deserved a little bit more than that, but I'm fine with that.
Oh, those are great questions and considerations to raise, and I appreciate your comments. Ms. Matlock, did you have some comments?
Yes, I just wanted to chime in to Commissioner Rogers. The statute, the way that it's written in the rules, it allows the commission discretion to assess a civil penalty from $0 to $1,000. So there's a lot of discretion for you to make that decision, and I think I don't think $100 is necessarily too low, but if that is the amount that you guys would like to amend, we certainly can do that. Also, speaking to the agreed citations that Glenn was talking about, so if it was going to happen, the matter was going to be audited, what would happen is the individual would receive an agreed citation, and that amount would be for $100. And then they could either agree and sign the agreed citation, and then the matter will be disposed of and closed. Or if they decide to dispute it, it would end up on the legal report. So I think that was just some extra context to kind of give information concerning the agreed citation process and the civil penalty amount.
I understand, and listen, I'm the new one here on this board, and y'all know way more about it than I do. It just struck me as being a little light for someone that said, yes, I did take it, knowing they didn't take it, but that's fine. I do understand.
I appreciate your comments. You are a co-equal member, and we are thankful that you're on this board. And so those are all great considerations and things always worthy of the discussion. So please don't ever hesitate. And are there any comments in regards to Mr. Rogers' initial considerations, or have we resolved those? The floor is open to the commission.
Glenn, could those still come to us in a report so we would know how many were coming in the future? If we do, just give them the authority to do the $100 penalty.
That's an option. Sure, we can do that, Mr. Lowe. That's not a problem at all. We can just add that to the tail end of the report for your consumption then.
Randy, I think that's a great suggestion. I'd like to know that as well.
Perfect.
So you want to read a motion that I can make, Glenn?
Yeah, sure can. All right. So in those cases where we have a licensee who attested to completing the required 6-hour CE during the renewal period, and upon audit had not completed that after giving the opportunity to produce that, then the commission would like to assess a $100 penalty to be added, or for administration to open and close that while assessing that penalty. And of course, just as a sidebar, we'll include that in the report as well. Do we have a motion in that regard?
I'll move it just the way you read it.
All right. Thank you, sir. Do we have a second?
Second, Randy Lowe.
Roll call vote. Randy Lowe.
Aye.
Kimball Sterling.
Yes.
John Thorpe.
Aye.
Jeff Morris.
Yes.
Dwayne Rogers.
Yes.
All right, that concludes all of our official business. We have a new business here. If there's anything there that someone would like to discuss, bring up, raise.
Hey, Glenn, I just wanted to chime in really quickly and let the commission know about a legislative update. So since our last meeting, we have the legislative session has ended, and there's only one particular bill that I think the commission should be concerned about, and that's going to be HB 0780. This is part of the department's package. So essentially what's going to happen is this act will amend the age requirement for public automobile auctioneers licenses. So it's going to be lowering the age from 21 to 18. So that means that bid callers, affiliates, principal auctioneers, and public automobile auctioneers all are required to be 18 years old at the time of application. And the effective date for this change is going to be October 1st, 2021.
Great, thank you. Any questions from the commission in regards to the legislative update? All right, thank you, Anna. We appreciate that. Thanks for bringing that to us. Ms. Matlock, did you have anything else for us?
Nope.
All right, great. I think we're ready for new business then. Do we have any new business to discuss? All right, hearing none, we can accept a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Thank you, Mr. Thorpe. Do we have a second?
Second, Randy Lowe.
Thank you, sir. For a roll call vote, Randy Lowe.
Aye.
Kimball Sterling.
Yes.
John Thorpe.
Yes.
Jeff Morris.
Yes.
Dwayne Rogers.
Yes.
All right. Thank you very much. We are adjourned. Thank you, gentlemen. You have a good day.
Thanks for using WebEx. Visit our website at www.webex.com.